Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.
I'm Al Bledsoe, Veterans of Foreign War, Post 1108.
I'm Ron Chappell, Chaplain for Vietnam Veterans Association 777, here in the beautiful city of Richmond. And our guest this morning is Kyle Ingram. Kyle, you want to just...
Executive Director at Circle U. It's great to be here with two fine gentlemen and discuss what we do at Circle U for our veterans here in the area. And it's probably not enough, but we do what we can.
Sure.
So it's great to be here with you folks.
It's never, well, thank you for coming. And of course, we talk about a lot of different things. And I think one of the main things is that's really been something to me is how the food pantry has grown over the years and become more responsible with the way we do things than when we first started. I don't remember for sure what date that was, but I remember our first pantry, we had 10 people at, I think.
Well, I know, Al, you and Ron both have been, how do I want to say it, really outgoing in promoting, what it is that you folks want to do for the veterans.
Sure.
And assisting us at Circle U in a great way to provide the necessary products, food, canned goods, whatever, for the veterans. Mm-hmm. We'd obviously love to be in a position where we could do more. I suppose as we get into the program more today, we'll discuss why we're limited in what it is that we do.
Sure.
But at this point in time, we're just really, really happy to be part of what it is you folks are doing for those who have served our country.
Well, let me just kick off.
Go ahead.
Just a couple of these. Right now, you with the stuff you read on the internet, you got to be careful.
Yeah, sure.
But this is really genuine, and several people made comment about Circle U, the service. One fellow says, I started going there for coffee in the mornings about 10. I didn't know you gave coffee in the morning.
Coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning.
You will see me. I live a couple of blocks away. He says, I go there once in a while, and I do the food pantry. It's an awesome place. Thank you, Circle U. Then a lady says, the place is always willing to help the less fortunate. And then one more, she says, oh my God, they are wonderful and forever helping the community. God bless.
Well, those are extremely nice comments. Mm-hmm. And, it's a team effort at Circle U.
Yeah.
There is a list, or a group of volunteers, about 6 ladies, who are there every Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, and their combined years of volunteer service at Circle U is over 150 years.
Wow.
So
I never realized that, I guess.
And our cook, Eric Short, is a former veteran.
Yeah.
So he does a tremendous job of meal preparation, putting things together for the week, mm-hmm. Making sure that he's got all of the necessary tools that he needs to provide, healthy, nutritious meals for those that come in on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays from 9 to about 12:15.
Yeah. Circle U has just really, I've been on the board now a couple of years, and it's really grown into itself a little bit, with the way they do things with all new appliances, the different things that we get from different vendors in town that they give us. They really, and you've put that to good use. I mean, with our new building, that goes without saying, something that we've really needed, I think. So.
Yeah. I didn't know what that was going to be. I saw that building going up. I said, I wonder who that belongs to.
Yeah.
And I found out.
It's a huge benefit to the community to have a facility that is able to store, house the products that we have, because prior to that expansion, all of the material and product that we were receiving was going into someplace in that house. And at the height of the pandemic, when we were receiving 25 to 30,000 pounds of food monthly, we were busting at the seams and really in a rock between a rock and a hard place. Then Cronin stepped up, and Al, with their warehouse behind the dealership that was sitting empty at the time. We were able to then transition from where we were at in our building to move the product out there until the new expansion was completed. And that's another thing that couldn't take place without the support of so many members within this community, whether it be, your private individuals, local businesses, through their donations and willingness to step up to help assist and pay for that building.
It's amazing to me, and when we had the pantry where we stored it at Cronin, the old building out back, the amount of food we had, and now it's like where we were then, but now here we are now. And speak to that just a little bit about what you really go through to get food, to have a pantry for veterans.
Well, we rely heavily on Gleaners Food Bank. They're out of Indianapolis. There's like 92 counties within the state of Indiana, and I think Gleaners probably services a third of those counties with dry goods, frozen meat products, to different food pantries like Circle U. And we also then have local places here like Starbucks, Pizza Hut, Olive Garden, Reed Hospital, Little Caesars, Red Lobster, Walmart and Kroger, where it's called a food rescue program, where any food that maybe is not used in their kitchen or is getting close to a date where they need to replenish their inventory, they then give to us for us to then immediately distribute to those in the community. And Reed will take some of their meals that they have leftover product with, and we then reheat and serve some of that to our customers on Mondays, Tuesdays, again, and Saturdays from about 9 until 12:15. Midwest Food Bank over in Indianapolis is another resource. We go over there once a month to look at their inventory to determine what it is they might have that we can use to distribute food here in the Wayne County area.
See, now I would have thought going to Indianapolis, I mean, they've got so much need in that area, there'd be little they could do for us.
Well, and Ron, it's a great point. But Midwest, through its relationship with Gleaners and nationally, they get a lot of donations. You'll see all the time around Thanksgiving and the holidays, and even here after the pandemic, when the food banks themselves were short on food, your television stations were doing food drives. And a lot of those food drives and donations would go into Midwest Foods or Gleaners so that they can then turn around and redistribute those items to food banks like us at Circle U.
Well, they certainly come to the line with the food bank, with the veterans community. You know how I am about that.
Right.
I'm very passionate about one more box, but I'm trying to learn to live with that supply chain issue. But it just seemed like it's just hard to understand all of that, exactly why we run out of food. But it's just one of those things, and I mean everybody's going through that. We probably put out more in the veteran community than's ever been put out. It's never been. I think we're hitting 85 to 90 boxes now. So, and we're doing that, and we're giving a good box. I might add that I feel like anyway, that we're giving a very good box. And you know how the guys are. I mean, those guys are very passionate about getting that boxed and getting it out of there, because when they first hit, why, we're in a dead run almost for an hour and a half.
With how the pandemic impacted on the economy, and many businesses had to either close or release.
Yeah, he
people,
can
know.
tell you, it's really.
Yeah, and so some of those people are the veterans who are coming that caused the increase, and you need to put out, more stuff.
Yeah.
We, again, not to rehash an old story, but at the height of this pandemic, a couple of years ago, about the time that I took over the position as executive director, it was really all new for me, and I'm still learning the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts. 25 to 30,000 pounds of food. Now that's roughly 15 to 16 pallets of dry goods, assorted foods, frozen meats, cold storage items that we were receiving on a monthly basis. We're down to about 5,000, 4,500 pounds a month now. The government at the time of that pandemic was really pushing food through the channels like Gleaners and Midwest Food. Well, now that this thing has kind of taken a step back and things kind of, I feel like they've got a handle on it, well, the government's not pushing that food as much as what they were prior to, and now we're back to the point where you're relying upon donations. And we have several in our community that will drop in or give us a call and say, hey, look, I've got some stuff here that material that I'd like to drop off. When can I donate it? A lot of our local schools take part in food drives, and that type thing. So it's we're really blessed in this community. It's a very, very giving community in so many ways.
Well, they've done very well with the veteran community, but they've kind of expanded out just a little bit into the school system, I think a little bit too, and that's another avenue of, where does that end at? It just amazes me that the food supply and how all of that takes to operate and everything. The news agencies, I watch the news usually in the morning pretty early, and they'll be back on that kick again looking for donors for food because the supply chain is so tight that there's just not a lot there. So. But I think Circle U has done an excellent job in the veteran community. I mean, just everybody. I mean, most of the guys just can't believe, and none of us can believe that we're really doing it. And now we've got it down to we really know what we got to do when we get there. So we get done in a hurry. But it's the line. I mean, you know what the line is when you guys get there 10 to 9 or whatever. I mean, the line's clear down to New Paris Pike almost, or that 227 down that way. We had 48, I think. I never spoke that to you, but we had 48 in line when I got there at 9:15 last night.
The thing that really is somewhat concerning to me and those of us at Circle U is that we don't have enough to support not only the veterans in the community, but the community in general that would rely upon us and that do rely upon us.
Sure.
You mentioned the food shortages and the lack of the food, supply chain issues and that type of thing. It has a direct impact on us, which then ultimately has more of an impact on those who really need it.
Right.
And we've gone from 2 food pantries now per month to just 1, which is the 3rd Saturday of each month, from 2 to 4, just because we don't have the necessary product to continue our 2 monthly pantries. And that's unfortunate.
So how can can the community help make contributions to Circle U to?
Certainly.
Oh, absolutely.
Financial contributions.
They can do financial contributions. Obviously, are a huge help because we're in a position now where we're having to buy, some of our food for distribution. We're a non-for-profit, so we've got a budget, obviously, as any business does.
Sure.
But those financial contributions and even contributions of people who come by and they drop off cases of water, canned goods, we rarely, if ever, turn anything away. Now, obviously, you can't accept things that are already been opened and you know, that type thing.
Yeah.
But we're always looking for those who can assist us in any way, shape, or manner, whether it be with direct monetary donations or, you know, food. And obviously, the food, probably of the two, at this point in time, is the most important.
Yeah.
Well, I think it has to be said that the VFW has certainly come to the line
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to that. They have just, they've just overwhelmed me. I mean, I can't believe
we
that
got a
they've
great
got
group-
behind
great
this
group of
thing like
folks,
they
yeah.
have. But again, it goes back to the food supply. You know, it doesn't do any good to have $10 if you can't spend the $10 for food. You know what I'm saying? It don't. And that's what is the bigger problem, is just the supply chain itself. And that's why we call on all donations, anything we can get. Like you said, we can't use open stuff or anything like that. But
Well, the effort that the VFW Post 1108 here, and you two gentlemen in conjunction with 1108, we can't do at Circle U what we do for the veteran community without you and 1108.
Yeah.
We just can't do it. Whether it's through the financial donations, you know, that the Post offers up, the ability to go and purchase certain food items so that we know we're getting a good, healthy, nutritious box to the veterans.
sure.
We just can't do it. We don't have the resources to do it without the assistance
Yeah.
of individuals like yourself, the Post, and other, you know, businesses and private citizens here within the area.
It amazes me how all that goes together, though, with picking up the food in Indianapolis. You had spoke, Tony Cheney is one of the main workers at Circle U. He's in Indianapolis today, and that's what he's doing, is making his weekly runs, or however many times he goes over there. But that's kind of a long haul in a great big truck like that. So
We go over there once a month, and Tony is my assistant.
yeah,
And
right.
it's basically he and Jack Doyle and myself, along with the volunteers, who kind of on a day-to-day basis
Yeah.
try to circle the wagons and get completed what needs to be get completed. But again, without volunteers, without help like Jack and Tony, you know, Circle U in and of itself can't survive, can't
Yeah.
do what we do.
Yeah, you got to have those workers, and there's got to be a certain amount of stress with that to make sure that those deliveries are made or picked up, and all that stuff sorted out and uncrated, or whatever you have to do with it, you know. But that's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
So
The people we serve are very good people too. They are they're humble, they're appreciative, and they themselves will volunteer daily to help clean up, pick up trash in and around the alley.
sure.
So it's really a neat little thing that we've got going on down there at Circle U with those that we serve.
I've always said it's just a group of people. I know with the guys that help with the boxes and stuff, if it wasn't for them, and I tell them every pantry, I tell them, if it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't happen.
Right.
This would not happen with just two people. You've got to have that 6 to 10 guys that are out there doing the same time. And these guys really get into that. I think they generally like to do it. And they show up every pantry we have to do that. And I'm just so thankful that I've got guys that I can depend on. I don't have to call them and nudge them to come and help today or whatever. They're sitting there usually before I get there. So,
Well, not every day's like today either.
yeah.
Okay, it's not always 85 and sunny. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
there's snow, sleet,
Yeah,
rain,
you know.
and you know when that pantry day is scheduled, that pantry
Gotta
day
roll.
goes.
Yeah.
We went
So-
through a couple of rainy ones there that it was raining so hard, it was awful.
Yep.
Hey, I see we have a senior pantry day,
Yes, sir.
third Tuesdays.
The third Tuesday.
Yeah, for those older folks,
55 and older, 1 to 3.
Yeah.
So you have to have your driver's license or something, because people will try to abuse the situation, And
We have taken on the mindset that if you're in need of food, we're not going to question you.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to answer to us at some point in time during your there's another higher power that at some point in time you're going to have to answer to. So if you show up at our facility and you're in need of food on the days that we're distributing, you're going to get a box of food. All we really ask for is your name, your address, and the number of people that are in your household.
Yeah. I think we've had to kind of narrow things a little bit at the Seabog, where less than 1% of the population, and you got to be cautious that people don't abuse that. And so now there's a requirement to have military ID. Correct?
Well, what happened was that got to be a heated debate one night at the club. Do you or don't you? Do you have to have a military ID? Well, somebody had threw something out on Facebook at one of our pantries that everybody welcome. Well, everybody isn't welcome to the veterans pantry. That is a veterans pantry. So what happened was we was overwhelmed. We was up way to numbers we shouldn't be at, and so. After a debate over a card system, yes or no, and then Dayton said, maybe we ought to go to a card system. Well, when I get there, those guys are holding that card up till I can see. I don't even have to ask for it now. I was a proponent of if a guy needs a box, give him a box.
Yep.
But at the same time, that's not really acting very responsible on the other end of it. So I finally caved into the card system.
It's a difficult,
But it's a good thing because or I know because I see those cards. Every name that I've written down in my notebook, I saw that veterans card with the exception of maybe 2, and that's because they kind of got into line too quick. But driver's license don't get it. It has to be a card. And most of the guys are good about that. I mean, they got that card showing it to everybody, so.
I noticed here on your webpage that there's a place there to donate.
Yeah, on the website.
On the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
You can make monetary donations through the website.
Right. Okay. So, is there any special kind of promotion or anything that's going on right now, or?
Well, we look at every day at Circle U as kind of that we're open as a special promotion day. We are, gearing up. Obviously, it'll be here before we really know it. Thanksgiving. Last year we distributed roughly 825 meals throughout the area, and we are anticipating to have at least that number this year, maybe more. So probably within the next month to 6 weeks, you'll probably be seeing on our website where those that want or are in need of a Thanksgiving meal delivered, they will be able to go on the website, sign up, number of meals that they need, and we will put it together in a list of volunteers and folks through the different church organizations. And, Mayor Snow comes down there every year and helps put things together. And then we distribute those, and they're there usually by noon. Everybody has their meal by noon.
If you ever want something that will impact your life, deliver boxes of food.
Oh, yeah.
Cooked for people that really have a need.
Yeah.
And when you knock on, you never know what you're going to get when you knock on that door. But I'm telling you, I've done that before, and that's very, very impactful. It has. Again, I go back to it's hard to imagine in the United States of America that we have this going on, but we have to have people like Circle U, like you, that's willing to step out, if you will, and push it and get something done with it. So you have to do that,
Well,
because you wear different hats. I mean, I know
Right.
you wear different hats. So, and you have to be the politician, but you have to be the guy accepting the food. You have to be the guy asking for the food. So, there's all different things that you have to be able to do.
And people aren't out there, most aren't out there, begging or letting the world know their problem, that they need food for the most part. And so they're not always forthcoming with it. And so to get a name from a friend, relative, or whatever, and then you show up on the doorstep with some food,
Sure.
that's impactful.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you run into, just all walks of life like that. It's
Sure.
amazing to
Yeah.
me. It's just, it's a
Absolutely.
wonderful thing. The way the whole pantry has developed with Circle U and the way you've developed it, so it's under control. You know what I mean? It's just not, as well as I do, it's not flippant, just done. It's really done under a structured system that really works. And
Well, I could spend a lot of time on these reviews, but I'm going to tell you, there's nothing negative for the people that have
Oh,
gone
yeah,
there.
they just-
It's all positive stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's, Ron, and those folks who have, responded in such a way, we're really appreciative of, that kind of feedback.
Sure.
Because they're volunteers, and they do their due diligence, and they have big hearts, and they're there every day. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes they come in on Thursdays to prepare for our homebound meal delivery service that we do every Saturday. I think there's between 65 and 70 homebound meals, people that can't get out to get a meal on that particular day that we will deliver. And the local churches here have stepped up tremendously. It's it's through them and volunteers within their organizations that, again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but we just could not, we can't do it. The three of us, the Jack and Tony and myself, and even the 5 or 6, volunteers on a daily basis, we can't deliver those meals. Right. And so it's a community effort, and we're really truly blessed to have the support that we do.
We're down to about 3 minutes. We got less than 3 minutes. About 10 seconds. Oh man.
Okay, so we got to shut it.
Location.
Okay.
Where are we at?
19 North 13th Street, Richmond, Indiana.
Okay, and you can't miss them. If you come down North A, you got that big building sitting here.
Big blue building.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Kyle, for coming.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Hey,
really
thank you,
has.
folks.
pleasure.
Really appreciate it. And thanks to the community, too,
Yeah.
for all you do for us.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome back.
Anytime.
Okay. All right. Folks, thanks for watching Proudly We Serve.
Thank you.
Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.